Traveling on another continent has been about more than biking and beer for the Biking Through Europe Interterm group. Journalism professor and trip advisor David Swartzlander organized a 12-day excursion through the Czech Republic, Germany, and Austria with Vermont Biking Tours, offering students and fellow travelers an insight into a cultural hearth in Central Europe. Swartzlander, 7 students, and 8 others have traveled by plane, cars, bikes, boats, and their own feet through capital cities, towns, and a variety of places in between while journaling their experiences along the way.
The first stop on the Interterm trip was Prague, the Czech Republic's capital and biggest city. Students spent 2.5 days sightseeing in the city, visiting the Old Town, New Town, and Lesser Town boroughs. From St. Vitus's Cathedral at Prague Castle and Eiffelofka on Patron Hill to Charles Bridge on the Vltava River and the Old Town's famed astronomical clock, the group toured all of the city districts for a taste of Czech history. The VBT Viking Tour began in Český Krumlov, a UNESCO World Heritage Site that earned its status for its massive castle and preservation of Baroque, Renaissance, and Gothic architecture. City tour guide Stanislav Youngworth led the group through the town before VBT bike guides Zuzana Zalzed and Jan Vesely got the group outfitted and ready for biking. The first bike route led travelers through the countryside to a Gothic monastery at Zlata Koruna and the town of Plav, where a local family hosted a typical Czech lunch.
The trip shifted countries as bikers cycled through Šumava National Park, the Czech Republic's largest in the country, and crossed the border into Germany's famed Bavaria region. Riding through farming lands and forests, the group ended in Passau, an old city at the confluence of the Inn, Ilz, and Danube rivers. Dominated by a hilltop castle, the former trading outpost's history dates back to the medieval era. Bikers spent a day riding along the Inn, the natural border between Germany and Austria, before sightseeing in the Austrian river town of Scharding. The following day, bikers boarded a barge and floated south down the scenic Danube River into Austria, before riding along the river by bicycles.
The venture down the Danube led the group into the Wachau Valley, an Austrian region famed for its vineyards and castle ruins. At Willendorf, the group visited the excavation site of one of the world's oldest pieces of art, the Venus of Willendorf, a 30,000-year-old stone figurine. Later, the group toured the Benedictine Abbey at Melk, in the Austrian town of Dürnstein, where Richard the Lionheart was once held captive. The trip concluded with 2.5 days in Vienna, the Austrian capital and former imperial city. Sightseeing began in Augarten, a public park, and the Hofburg Palace. Now called the New Imperial Palace, the Interterm group toured 3 museums: the Armory, ancient musical instruments, and Ephesus exhibits. The final stop for the group was St. Stephan Cathedral, where students climbed 343 stairs for a panoramic view of Vienna.
After 12 days, 151 miles by bike, and 3 countries explored, Swartzlander's Interterm group has seen a rich and varied culture, history, and landscape of Central Europe. Whether it was from 2 legs or 2 wheels, all 16 travelers found something more foreign than bikes or booze. For the Doan Line, I'm Lucas Farr with Lindsay Rabick, Amanda Boats, and Jason Helgren.